So welcome everyone. Welcome. Today I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Marco Caravaggio, and he's a chiropractor. Today he's going to tell us about health and wellness and how to take care of your back during this time of COVID-19. So, Dr. Marco, welcome, and please tell us about you and your business. What do you do?
All right, thanks, Lee. Thanks for having me. Number one, it's great to be here and great to get some voices out there and to help people in these interesting times. So my name is Dr. Marco Caravaggio, like you said. So I call myself a pediatric and family wellness chiropractor. So I'm not necessarily focused on the quick fix injury. I'm kind of looking at the wellness for the family. So I work with pregnant women, little children, and all the way up to people in old age as well. So I kind of see like the whole gamut. That's kind of my focus, is kind of what we call it, like chiropractic family care. And I have a special focus on the neurology aspect of chiropractic too, which I've been studying since school for like 20 years. So all extra neurology stuff to understand brain function, how the brain controls the body, and what things we can do to the body to help the brain and back and forth. So like physically and nutritionally and environmentally, the things that we can do that can impact our brain, because basically our brain keeps us alive. So we want to make sure that that's working properly. We want to do everything we can to make sure that the connection between the brain and the body is clear without interference. And those are some of the things I try to focus on and teach in my practice.
Wow, thank you. And Doc, please tell us, in this time of COVID-19, how has the coronavirus affected your business?
Well, it's an interesting time. So like I said, we were initially, we got the word, we kept waiting for the word to come out. Well, do we have to close? Do we have to close? And finally the word came out that yes, you have to close. And then it kind of got shifted to, we were only allowed to see emergency patients that were already existing patients. So even currently right now, I'm not allowed to see anybody new. I can only see a patient that I already have an existing relationship with, that I've already done an exam. They're allowed to come in if their case is considered urgent. Meaning that there's something is in hindering their daily quality of life. You know, things are getting worse, their weaknesses, some extreme pain, things like that. Or people that maybe were kind of regular clients, and if they don't get the regular care, their condition might start to deteriorate. And that's kind of what I noticed, because it's almost been like 4 weeks now, whatever it is. You know, every week that goes by, there's 1 or 2 more people saying, well, geez, I'm getting tingling in my arm now, and my headache is keeping me up at night. I think so. Those are kind of things that impeding a good quality of life, and I'm allowed to see those people. So in my office, the technique I do is called network spinal care, and typically that technique allows a number of people in the room at the same time. And I'm doing a light touch in a very specific spot, and the body kind of has to respond to that touch. So typically the body will respond either with some breathing or maybe repositioning of the body and letting go of its tension when the brain starts to pay attention to itself, and it's fine. And then I would go to other people. But during this time, we can't really do that now. So we've kind of separated my room. We have 2 tables, nice distance apart. We only see one person at a time. So one person comes in, they get care on the one table, they leave, and then the next person comes in. My assistant goes and sanitizes the other table while this one's on this one. And so it's, one person at a time. It's very slow. So obviously it's, decrease the flow and that kind of thing. So there's a lot less interaction, but because not everybody's an emergency case, I'm kind of able to handle that number of people right now.
Wow. So can you tell us, as well as this advice will go to other chiropractors as well, how do you plan to bring back those people who haven't been able to come to see you on a regular basis? How do you plan to bring them back after coronavirus?
After we kind of get the okay to open up again?
Yeah, to go out and play again.
I've been lucky just because I was just kind of, I don't know what the word is, just kind of stimulated by a coach, and many years ago. He says, you know what, I want you to put in a health information tip every week. And he says, and it'd be great if you could do it on video. So about 3 years ago, I said, well, geez, I don't know if I'll have enough things to talk about. But I kind of made myself the promise that I would do it. So I just started thinking, okay, what could I talk about? So I started talking about the technique and health and nutrition and recipes, and all sorts of things came out. And basically 3 years later, I've made a video every week. And so I have my YouTube channel, but my patients pretty much every Tuesday or Wednesday, they'll get a video from me from like 2 minutes to 10 minutes, depending on what I'm talking about. So I've always had that ability to stay connected with them. And then when obviously the coronavirus happened, I kind of said, okay, so let's see, everyone's stuck at home, but they still want to be able to connect to me. So I just started to do open Zoom meetings with my patients. So I've done 2 so far, and I'll probably do another one this week coming up, I think, just because time has passed again, and we still need to so just stay engaged and connected, and knowing that you're there for them. And the other thing I've been doing is I had my assistant just the week that we closed, we had to like cancel, lots and lots of patients for the next 2 weeks almost. So she
Yeah.
wrote all those names down. And the ones that haven't come in as an emergency case, I've just given them a call. Maybe 5 or 6 people a day just call and say, how you doing, checking in. I know we're in the middle of care. We only got like 6 visits into your care or something like that. But, are you busy? Are you still working? How are you holding up at home? Just connecting with my people that way. And that's been pretty helpful. And there's a couple of ladies, she said, you know what, that call just made my day. I called her, it was late, it was like maybe 9:30 at night. I said, okay, I don't want to get people during dinner. And she goes, I'm just about to go to sleep with, my husband, and it's the end of the night sort of thing. And that call just made my day. So something like that is really important to do, just to stay connected.
Yeah.
They know you're still there.
Yeah, that is so amazing. And I can see how that can be so extremely important at a time like this when we are staying home. We're not allowed to go out and mingle with other people. So the telephone call, just that one little telephone call, can be so important at this time. So thank you so very much for that.
Yeah.
Now the next question I have for you is this: what will you do to adapt to the new changes? Do you have an idea of what you'll do to adapt to new changes after coronavirus?
Yeah, it's going to be a different environment. Like I had like a meeting with my assistants, and we said, okay, so how are we going to organize the office?
Yeah.
The days are going to look very different because I have a 9-year-old son. He's not going to school, and there probably won't be summer camps. And my wife works, and she does night shifts.
Right.
She says, well, you can't do what you used to do because, I come home in the morning, but you usually would leave and we'd be able to bring him to my grandmother's house. But we're isolating from her.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to open later. So I might have to change my hours. And the way I kind of organized my life, I said, I was always told a long time ago before I opened my practice to say, open your practice to live the life you want to live and not be pushed by the demands, right? So I said, okay, well, I want to work out. So I always gave myself a long lunch. Go 2.5 hours to be able to go to the gym, work out, and come back again, make my smoothie and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, now I don't think the gym is going to be open. So I have a rebounder in my office so I can rebound, but I don't know if I'll be able to lift weights and stuff. So I might be able to kind of maybe just shorten my lunchtime. So I'll be able to see, start a little later, maybe contract my lunch by an hour, be able to see a few more people. Because it's definitely going to be a lot less people for sure, because we're going to have to be doing one at a time and that kind of thing, and all the measures we have to do. And it's just going to take a lot more time, and it's just going to be a big adaptation period, and we'll see how it goes. But obviously, we're going to have to follow all the instructions from the Ministry of Health and do what we're supposed to do there. And so right now, it's going to be, everyone talks about this whole pivot thing,
Yeah.
your business, whatever.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be different, and hopefully within maybe 6 months or a year, it'll kind of be back to normal, and people will feel a little safer doing what they need to do and that kind of thing. So
Right.
We'll see.
And these are really good advice for not just you as a chiropractor, as well for massage therapists and personal trainers. We all have to change and adapt to this new change that are happening to us.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
All right. So do you have any business or marketing advice for other fitness and wellness professionals, such as other chiropractors and personal trainers and massage therapists? Any business marketing ideas for them?
Yeah, for sure. So like if I was, let's say I'm not, but let's say I was a massage therapist, I would try to do what I do. If you feel comfortable getting online, make a video and send it to your patient. Just saying, I know you're all sitting at home. Why don't you try this stretch for your forearms if you're on your computer or something like that.
Yes.
Personal trainer, just for myself, for example, one of my video tips, we're fortunate enough to live in a house that has like steps going up into the house. So when quarantine was first kind of starting to happen, I just told my son, I says, okay, we're going to do 5 minutes of working out, and you're going to make up the exercises, and I'm just going to follow you. Just whatever you do, I'm going to do it. So I brought the camera outside, and I filmed him and me, and so he would just like run up and down, run sideways. He jumped up the stairs, jumped down the stairs, and then I said, okay, let me do a couple. And so I would do some push-ups on the stairs, and then he would do the push-ups and things like that. So we just had fun in the front of our house. So it would be a good idea for, like, let's say a personal trainer or somebody, just show somebody something people could do at home that they don't need exercise equipment, like a quick little exercise, just using their body weight, or just show something that's easy that anybody can do, really, and maybe send that out as a video. And if you don't feel comfortable making a video, just maybe take some pictures of it and write a blog article and send that. Those kind of things, just to stay connected and let people know what they can do to make themselves comfortable while they're at home, because that sort of, it gives them two things. Number one, it gives you that connection, because humans are all sort of like a species that needs to be connected and interpersonal, right? And with this separation, it's kind of a really alien to the human species, I think. So just knowing that somebody else is thinking about them, saying, okay, just try these things at home, that kind of thing. And I know even some personal trainers are doing Zoom calls and you say the follow along fitness and those kind of things like that as well. So those are the main things. If you feel comfortable enough getting on camera, try to do that and send out a video or do Zoom calls of some sort. And if you don't feel comfortable, maybe write a blog or write an article as frequently as you can, and maybe something with some pictures so that way people know what to do and they can still feel connected to you at home and like you're the go-to guy or gal in their life, sort of thing.
Thank you. That's fantastic tips for fitness people, especially like myself, a yoga teacher. I'm going to be making short yoga videos and sending out to all of my students.
Yes.
So that's a fantastic thing that we can do to keep connected with our clients or students and keep on educating them throughout this time, so that after coronavirus they'll be even better.
That's right.
Than we are now.
So you could do the yoga move of the week, sort of thing.
Yeah,
something like that, right?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Thank you so very much for that. Dr. Marco, do you have any event that you'd like to promote at this time? I know you have one that's on your website. I'm gonna run that video right now. There it is. So do you have any other event that you want to promote at this time? As well, maybe you could tell our viewers about this one that's running across the screen right now.
Okay. So yeah, that's correct. So basically what's happening is, so like I said, I have a lot of interest in the neurology aspect, and I have a special interest in working with kids with challenges, learning challenges, and autism spectrum. And I always tell people chiropractic doesn't treat conditions, right? So it doesn't matter what somebody's coming in with. If they have autism, we don't treat autism. If they have sciatica, we don't treat sciatica. What we're trying to do is balance the body so it can work better. And anybody with a balanced body, regardless of their condition, should have a better quality of life. And that's kind of what we're focusing on. So I have a special interest in the whole autism spectrum, and we see a lot of kids in our office and things like that. And so I'm doing, normally that would be an in-office workshop. We have it scheduled for June 11th, so I'm pretty sure we're probably not going to be having people in at that time. So earlier in the year, I did one called the Gut-Brain Connection. That workshop was a 2-hour workshop, and I just had to do it online. And this one, more than likely, I'm going to do it online. I'll see what we're, the week before it actually starts, we'll see what happens, but it'll probably end up being an online event as well. So people can go there and register on Eventbrite, which is the link that will send them to Eventbrite. They can register there, and I'll just probably notify everybody about 5 days before the event. If we could hypothetically do it in my office with, the chairs separated, and because I have a pretty big area that I could, put the big movie screen there and have that, I could have the people separated properly. If that can't be done, then I'll just be doing that online. But that's the main thing. And the other thing I'd like to mention is that I was mentioning to you prior to starting, I've been doing some interviews myself online. And I did a Zoom interview with the family couples therapist that's across the hall from my office. And we went over I went over the physical aspects of staying healthy during this, and she went over the mental and emotional aspects of it. And if people go to my YouTube channel, they can see that that Zoom meeting, which is a good one. Her name is Sigurdsson's daughter. She's she's got an interesting last name, but she does really great work for couples, and she had a lot of good recommendations for what couples can do to make sure that they're heard, and how they make sure that they're safe and that kind of thing with each other and their relationships, which is also very important during this time, because we know other than the physical infectious aspect of all this thing, there's a lot of emotional stuff, and the lockdown has a big tendency to influence people and how they think about themselves and their freedom and that kind of stuff. So that's important too.
There's something that I would like to say. I have much experience with visiting chiropractors, and I must say that, Dr. Marco, I've seen quite a number of your videos.
Yes,
and you're not just a chiropractor. You are an amazing educator. You educate us.
Yes,
you're an amazing educator, and I really appreciate that. I'm pretty sure that our viewers and our clients will really appreciate you educating us, especially at a time like this. So thank you so very, very much. Now,
just an interesting note, just so there's some of the videos, I have a couple that are really famous and got lots and lots of views. So there's one video I did specifically on hiatus hernia, and I described in about 12-minute video all the different things that can happen, what people can feel and stuff. And I've literally had people call me from, yesterday there was one from Tennessee in the States, there was a person from Saudi Arabia that called me.
Wow, wow.
we come to Canada in the summers, I'm thinking, okay, we got to try to find somebody for these people, because it's not a typical thing that a lot of chiropractors might do, or body workers would do, to kind of know how to kind of get the stomach out of the way from the diaphragm and stuff. So yeah, I've had that couple of people, maybe almost like 3 people a month will call the office about that video and say, hey, is there somebody near me that does this? And it's an interesting thing. So yeah, there's a few things that I've done that have really caught on, and that's one of the big ones.
Doctor, after this interview, I'm going to put your links,
Okay.
attach it to this interview. But for people in your community, where can they find you? Where are you located?
So like the office is in Markham, Ontario. So we're just like on the north side of Steeles. So it's still, I call it Northeast Toronto, but it's really called Markham. But it's at Steeles and Woodbine, so really close to the 404 and Steeles Avenue, one traffic light off there, and it's a pretty convenient location for all the major routes of traffic and things. So that's where I'm at, 3160 Steeles Avenue East in Markham.
Excellent, thank you. So people, go see Dr. Marcus. No, doctor. Do you have? If there's one single tip that you have for our clients and our viewer, what would that one tip be? Okay,
so I'm gonna try to make it something different. I kind of set this interview up just specifically on purpose. If you have the ability to, I know a lot of people are in front of their computers a lot now.
Yes.
There's 2 things that happen. If you have the ability to get outside, obviously that's great, and get your feet barefoot on the grass, because there's a whole concept of grounding and getting connected to the earth and that kind of thing. If you can't go outside, I'm actually standing right now during this interview, and there's something called the grounding mats. So this little plug here is connected into the ground wire of my house, and the ground socket goes into the actual ground, and so that'll keep us connected to the free electrons of the earth. Because in a lot of technology, there's so much negative, positive charge coming at us and everything else, and we need to have our body sort of like negatively charged, and that's what gives us safety. So we can either get on the grass bare feet as long as we can, if we have that ability. If we don't, if we're in our houses, if we're in condos and things, I'd recommend a grounding mat. And if you're doing a lot of TV or internet stuff, see if you can get standing sometimes too, because sitting is not what you like. With your yoga, I love the inversion stuff. Other stuff, we have to offload sensitive tissues from gravity if we can, right?
Yes.
Being compressed in that sort of the seat that doesn't allow any motion or any kind of compensations, it's not that good for the spine, right?
Right.
So people can be upright as much as they can, move their body, and be able to kind of be flexible and things, and still interact and that kind of stuff. But that's really important. So just not as much sitting if you can, and try to protect yourself from the screens and I'm gonna call it the dirty radiation in your house, to try to get connected to the ground.
Yeah.
That's one of my main. Hopefully, it's something unique as far as a tip, because everyone else is vitamin C and vitamin D. We all know that stuff now, pretty much.
Oh, thank you, doctor, for educating us. Doctor, I am full. You filled me up today. You filled me up. Hopefully, you're filled up our viewers as well. And I really would like to have you to come back again to share more of your amazing knowledge with us. Would that be okay if I invite you back another time?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Marco. Today we're with Dr. Marco, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thank you, doctor. Take care.
Take care.
And be well.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.